Kelly's been a gasket making fool, getting everything ready for us. This is the radiator neck here, getting ready to go on. Okay, we got the radiator hung in there. You got to take out part of the shroud on this in order to get it to go in. And that bracket on the back has to come off in order to clear it for it to swing in on the bottom there. So I just got to tighten up some hose clamps. Yeah, we're hitting the shroud. I got to pin that back still. I was just having Kelly test it. So this fan is totally different than the fan that was on. So it doesn't match this shroud. The shroud on there is larger in diameter, less restrictive. So this fan's actually a little bit longer with the blade length. And I'll show you the other one. It's got the corners clipped on, but this was even hitting on that one. So I'm gonna have to switch the fan, but I'll do that once I take the radiator out. It's much easier to do then. So this fan is, the corners are cut, so it's not gonna scrape in there. So I'm gonna switch this one to that one. Okay, Kelly's gonna add water, and we're gonna see if I got all the hose clamps on everywhere. That fuel filter looks... What do you have it on?
On jet.
You don't want jet.
A little
Probably full or something.
That's worse than jet, I think. But we're gonna try it.
It's tight, but tighten up the... Whips. There's a bleeder here that I'm going to open up and let the air out of the thermostat housing, but I'll wait for it to get more full before I do that. So far so good. That hose would be missing hose clamps. Okay, she's filling again. Anything leaking? Definitely nothing massively leaking. That's good. Looks like that's already broke off. Actually looks like I might break the whole thing off. Good plan there. For right now, I'm just going to loosen this as the bleeder. Go ahead and add more water, Kelly. Stop. Go ahead and fill it up to there. This is full to here. Is it still coming out the hole? Okay, that's full. Good. We're coming up on sunset already, and I still got a lot to do. I got to get the fuel line fittings from the other engine, hook up the fuel lines, I hook up the air compressor. I'm not hooking the alternator up at all, but I do need to hook up the electrical lines that run to the starter and the solenoid and all that. The drive shaft is in place, but I don't have the caps on, so I got to do that before I start. I don't want that to bang around in there. A couple air lines to hook up still, so just a few things that I don't have done yet, and I don't want to be starting this at night where I can't really see it well. So it's basically ready to run. Maybe another hour's worth of work. I got to hook the grounds up, and I think I got all the oil lines hooked up, but I want to go through and double check a few things before I do that too. But it's just about ready to go. I'm gonna get it running, but like these lines need to be changed so bad. So I'll just run it to get it to run, and then I'll have to go get all these new hoses made. There's a lot of them that are in really bad shape like that. That's a fuel line, but a lot of them are crispy and crunchy, and this one's way too long with the new setup. I had to snake it around. That's the oil line that goes up to the gauge up there. But overall, not too bad. I'll have about a dozen hoses to go get made. This looks pretty new. That one's pretty crusty. So I just want to get it running, get it tuned up, flush the radiator a few times. Probably after the next flush, I'll probably take that radiator housing apart. I'll probably pop the thermostat out so that it will just flush through a little easier. And we'll see how that goes. Bo's coming today with his MCI. I'll be here for a few days. So I ran our 220 power extension cord. I pulled it up from down at the pad and moved it up here. So now he can have power where we used to be at, where we used to park our bus. And he can have 50 amp, well, 220 service. It's actually 30 amps that I have the breaker set for. But double 220 with 30 amp breakers. I just went to sit back on the seat that's not there. So after you make that last little bend in the road up there is when you're going to want to get on it. Right about now. Oh yeah, you got plenty of oomph here. Oh, you didn't keep it in low.
It shifts by itself.
Oh yeah, well you can manually put it down. So stay to the outside edge here as you make this turn. And you can slow it now. You got it. And this is going to be your parking spot on here, so we'll try and kind of center on there, giving us plenty of room on the side here. So maybe that way a little bit more. Yeah, you got it. Good job. You made it up the hill. No problem, man. Somebody's already done it, but try not to push the socket all the way up against your rim.
Right.
Because that's what causes those little marks like
Gotcha.
that. Accidentally changed it? No? Okay, yeah. They didn't torque your wheel. It started to move, I think, unless the socket was. Yeah. Go to another one. I'll come back to that one. See that they didn't use a torque wrench because the torque's all over the place.
Yeah. actually right when the last hurricane was blowing through is when they changed this.
Go back to that other one. It should get it. That was definitely tighter than the other. Your hand's almost touching it. Go down. Your finger. There you go. Just pull that just a little bit and see what comes. Just pull down on it. On that. That's good. There's another one on the tank next to it.
Okay, I looked underneath and I thought it'd be under the bottom, but
It's supposed to be. The good news is a bunch of shit didn't come out of it.
yeah.
Just can you reach for the other one? It's about 6 inches further. There you go.
Why two? Are they supplying each side?
Each one goes its own tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, hands. Nice.
Okay, we got 4 new airbags on. That was fun. It's airing up right now and we're going to spray check it with some soapy water just to make sure it's not leaking. So that fitting where all that white foam is at there is leaking where the fitting goes into the bus. That's the airbag where it feeds the beam. So I'll have to take that fitting out and try and put some sealant on it, but that's a pretty significant little leak there. You can see how dry rotted and cracked they are, but I didn't see any signs of leaking, but they're pretty significantly old. They're all like that. So it was just a good thing to replace them, and then hopefully that leak in the air beam is what its main problem is. It was leaking down after 3 or 4 hours on the front end. So we'll see how that goes, but we've got all these off.